Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another match reaction. Barcelona won, Real Betis won. Unfortunately, it is not the scoreline that we did want coming into this match. Real Madrid, they dropped points in their match against Valencia earlier in the day, and unfortunately, we did not fully capitalize on that defeat. And instead of getting the 3 points, we just got one extra point. We're going to be talking about Barcelona's draw tonight against Real Betis. We're going to be talking about what went wrong, what went right. But starting off, guys, I do want to show you guys the lineup for tonight's match. You had Szczesny in goal. You had Alejandro Balde, Pau Cuarci, Ron Araujo, and Jules Koundé. In the midfield, you had Frankie de Jong, Pedri. And up top, you had Ferran, Gavi, Lamine Yamal, and Lewandowski. Hansi Flick starting out with a very strong lineup. And overall, when we look at the Barcelona performance, guys, I would say it was a decent Barcelona performance. Our final third, we weren't the best at. Our final passes, our chances that were created, they weren't efficient. Barcelona, we lacked that final touch in the final third. And unfortunately, due to an error defensively, Real Betis equalized, and Barcelona, they come away with 1 point. But guys, before I get started on the video, make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. Everything's posted down below in the description. And as well, if you guys do want to join the stream, feel free. Just go on X or on the community section on YouTube. Click on the StreamYard post, on the StreamYard link, and you'll be able to join. But NJ, welcome. Barcelona, they drop points. They aren't able to get the victory. We get a draw instead. And I want to hear your thoughts on the overall match. Well, what did you make of Barcelona's performance tonight?
All right, so here's the thing though. Like overall, the way we played, like in the first half, it was really good because but the problem was just that we were not able to finish our chances, even though the amount of chances that we get. And also I felt like the final third was the only problem that we had most of the game, and that and also you can see like the players, they were like just like off with their passes, like they were just giving passes just for no reason away. Like simple passes, like they couldn't even pass a simple pass at all. Like even Pedro was struggling with the pass sometimes as well. Again, you can say, oh, they're tired, yes, but again, it's part of the game now, especially for the month of March now. Tired, you can't really use it as an excuse because again, we knew that it was going to be the most busiest month or time of the year where like you just have to grind it out. But again, it showed that they were tired, but fair enough. But again, overall, the game itself, like we should have just finished our chances in the end of the day. But we didn't. But it's part of the game. It is what it is. But this is the time where like we can't just like hate on the players anymore because they've done a lot already. Like we just have to back them up, even if they play bad. But knowing that they will come back in the next game, stuff like that.
Okay, and in regards to that, because I do think that you touch up upon a very important statement, and that's the topic of fatigue, the top of the
Yeah.
schedule, because I did see this team very tired. I noticed that
Yes.
the same intensity, the same hunger, and the same energy that these players showed in
Yeah.
previous matches, it wasn't there, and it's completely
Yeah.
understandable. Barcelona, we played against Osasuna, we played against Girona, we played against Atletico Madrid. We're playing so many games in so little time that it's completely understandable why these players they are tired. And I would say that's my biggest concern coming away from this match because overall our performance it wasn't fantastic. It wasn't anything to write home about, but
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
it wasn't terrible. We
Yeah. It wasn't even bad.
we put a decent performance there, and if we were able to be a little bit more clinical with some of these passes,
Yeah.
improve in certain passes, make certain decisions in the final third, we come away with this game with a victory. And
Oh,
so
100%.
it's a game defined by those fine margins. But
Yeah.
as you say, Pedri he looks sloppy. Lamine Yamal looks sloppy. I believe he broke the record for the most times being dispossessed.
Stuff. Yeah.
It was a bad game overall from certain individuals when you think about it
Yeah.
compared to their previous performances and everything.
Oh,
And
100%.
and,
Yeah.
and and so looking at Barcelona's fixture list because I think this is very important. In what games can we possibly like rotate? Because when you look at Barcelona's fixture list, if we were to drop points, this would be the time to drop points. In a game
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
which
For
Real
sure.
Madrid, they lose, we draw, we gain 1 point, and at the end of the day, guys, as much as we failed to fully capitalize on that Real Madrid loss, we're still instead of 3 points ahead of Real Madrid, we're now 4 points. We take that every single day of the week. If you tell me, hey, by the end of the match day, you're going to be ahead of Real Madrid by one more point. We take that. We take that. We say absolutely fantastic. Let's go. And so, looking at this fixture list, what games do you see Barcelona potentially rotating and saying, "Hey, you know what? This is a game where we do massive rotations. We have Fermin
Leganes.
Lopez,
It
Gerard
has to be.
Martin, all these players starting."
You have to be Leganes. To be honest, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, Leganes has to be the one that we have to rotate. Because Leganes is in the at the bottom tier of the relegation. So that's the one. Because again, Celta Vigo will be the tricky one, for sure. Mallorca, you know how Mallorca plays. Even if they're bad, they still play
Yeah,
tricky football against you. So most likely Leganes that really gonna rotate the most. Because here's the thing though, if we would have won against Real Betis today, and we won Leganes and tied Celta Vigo and Mallorca, we could have finished Real Madrid after that. That was
yeah,
game over. That was game over there if we tied with Celta Vigo instead of Real
no.
Betis.
Mm-hmm.
That was game over
Okay.
for Real Madrid if we faced them at 26. That was
Okay.
game over for them.
Okay. So you're mentioning that Leganes is a key moment for Barcelona to rotate, and I agree. I agree. Just looking at some of the players, some of their minutes, just look at my eyes. We didn't put in the same performances, and I think in that game, I think Lamine Yamal has to be rested. Regardless, he's been playing
Yeah,
90 minutes, and he has to have a rest because in some moments you saw that the legs just weren't there. And
yeah.
Borussia Dortmund, that's going to be an extremely difficult match, in the Champions League. I have no doubt that Barcelona they will be able to bounce back from this
Ah,
draw.
they
I,
will.
I
Yeah, for
I- I'm
sure.
still confident in our teams, and in no sense am I worried about Barcelona. I'm just concerned about our fitness levels. Just how are they going to be going to be managed in these next upcoming games?
Yeah, but again, also we have to try. It's the month of March time of the year where like
Yeah,
every match is like clogged in. Using as a not fatigue and it cannot be used as an excuse because again we knew that it's gonna be like the most busiest time of the year. So
yeah.
we just have to overcome it. That's it. I don't care if you play bad as long as you get the result at this point. You
Mm-hmm.
see, if that was the early the season, then I would be so, yo, why are you playing so bad in the beginning of the season?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this is the time of the year where like playing okay, it's already good enough for us at this point, just for this time of the month. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Van Lee, he says, Clear Podcast, I've been thinking deeply about this. I'm actually glad we have the first leg at home. I see a lot of heavy legs, and hopefully we blow Dortmund and Bayern away in the first leg. Okay, so you're saying that Bayern Munich, they're going to go through it and beat Inter. Okay, that's a little bit surprising looking at how many injuries they have.
Yeah,
Upamecano, Davies,
such a bad timing for them.
Pavlovic, Neuer being a doubt. So many of their players doubtful. He says Madrid players are also fatigued as well, maybe worse than us because they don't control game states. That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
A lot of players,
yeah, they
a
don't
lot of
control the
players
game
in
compared to us at all. The
But
most part.
talking about the match a little bit, guys. Gavi he opens up the scoring from a great Ferran pass. The interconnection between
Yeah,
the players was absolutely fantastic. Gavi gets on the score sheet. He apologized for scoring against his boycott club.
it is what it
Completely,
makes sense. It
completely
makes sense.
understandable. Completely understandable. We concede from a corner. Roughly 10 minutes later, Natan gets in the air. Ron Araujo, I don't think he was marking Natan particularly the best. He was just
Yeah,
standing still. He's able to have a bullet header, beat Chesney. It's coming straight at him, but too fast, too much power on it,
yeah,
and they equalize. And from there on, Barcelona they have what 70 minutes to come back into the game. We create
yeah,
chances,
yeah.
such as this chance right here from Ferran. There's also a brilliant chance from Just Koundé in the second half where he
Yeah.
could have made it 2-1, but unfortunately, we weren't able to make the best out of it, and we come away with a with it
It
was
is
this
what
right
it
here.
is. It is
It
what
was
it
right
is.
here. It was this chance right here from Pedri.
For me,
Great
yeah.
pass. Great pass. Just Koundé able to beat his man, but Adrian denies him, and Barcelona they come away with the draw.
Yeah, man.
Unfortunate.
It
Unfortunate.
is what it is. It happens. Because again, I think I told you before a week ago or 2 weeks ago that I told you like during this run, I was gonna be okay with a one draw and the rest are win, as long as we
Okay.
don't lose. Yeah, I think I
Okay.
told you that 2 weeks ago. I think or last week.
No, you did mention it. You did mention it.
Yeah.
Hansi Flick, in his press conference, he says it's normal that that something like today could happen. It's normal for people to feel a bit disappointed. We have one more point and one less game to finish the season.
Yeah.
We tried everything in the second half. They pressed well, and we had a bit of bad luck. One more point. That's what we need to remember. The team gave it everything. We played well and pressed a lot, but they defended really well. And I reiterate that statement right there. We aren't able to get the 3 points, but at the end of the day, guys, we're in a better position than we were at the start of the match day, and
Yeah.
that's what counts.
Exactly.
We just have to make sure that we're up on the top by the end of the day, and make sure to keep this momentum going. Unfortunately, against a very, very, very good Real Betis team who defended really well, we weren't able to take fully advantage of it, but we do get an extra point to close off the match day. Some words from Gavi. He basically has the same sentiment right there from Hansi Flick. He says, it's football. We had chances that we didn't take advantage of. The draw has a bitter taste. We've been very good at defending set pieces during the season, and today the goal was avoidable. I know how much Hansi Flick trusts in me. I don't care what people say. And NJ, in regards to Gavi's performances, no, Gavi's performance specifically today, what did you make of it? Well,
No,
what do you
no,
think of Gavi today?
he played great today. To be honest, like no, like he's basically one of the best player that we have, like a jack of all trades player we have in the squad. Like he can do it. Oh, he might not be world class, but when he plays, when he contributes very very well.
Okay.
We're glad to have a player like him, a jack of all trades. We need that in the team. He
Okay.
he, he
Okay.
does it all. He can do it all. He might not be world class, but hey, not everybody has to be world class. Everybody, as long as you contribute, you win. And then the day you
Okay.
win, he wins. you
Uh
know?
huh. And looking at the La Liga table, guys, as we've said it before, when you look at the table, this is how it looks. Barcelona
Yeah.
with 67 points, 4 points ahead of Real Madrid in second place with 63. We are 10 points ahead of Atletico Madrid, and I would say it looks to be like a two-horse race right
Yeah.
here.
Now, yeah, it is now.
But Atletico Madrid, they do have a game in hand, and so they could,
Win and lose at the same time.
they could reduce it to 7 points.
Yeah.
But as you said, they can extend that to 13. No,
Yeah.
to 10 basically.
Yeah.
They can extend
Exactly.
it to 10.
Yeah.
But a little frustrating. Frustrating. We don't get the 3 points, but we do get an extra point. And looking ahead to the future, how do you think this draw is going to affect Barcelona's performances? Do you think it's going to hanger over us, or do you think it's just going to
Nah,
be
I don't think
something
so.
we move on?
I don't think so because I think the players understood that it's the time of the year where, like, you know what, like, we can't dwell about what happened. We just have to accept and learn and move on to the next. Because again, sure, we could complain about it in the first half of the season, yeah, 100%. But this is the season where, like, everybody has to be together at this point and just do their job. Not doesn't matter if it's a basic pass or basic tap in. Doesn't matter, as long as you perform, as long as you get a win. The all that what matters now. Because again, champions are known for, like, going through the hard times as well,
Yeah.
not only for the good times. That's why
Mm-hmm.
people. No, so just I say, like trust the players. I guess they play bad sometimes, but most of the time they perform when they need to perform.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's about winning the trophies. Not you can play beautiful football all you want. If you can't win trophies or games, then it's useless.
No. Yeah, I completely agree. But guys, I'm gonna end it there. For the match reaction, it was relatively short match reaction. But I don't want anyone to feel necessarily just too frustrated or too disappointed.
Yeah.
I do understand that there is some level, but as Dorian said, just to end off the video, 4 points isn't bad, though we are still good. Just a shaky game. We got to move
Yeah.
on, and we got to focus on
Yeah.
Dortmund. That's the most key situation
Yeah.
right now.
Exactly.
Barcelona, they have to put this result behind us. We move on. We focus on midweek against Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League,
Yeah.
and we hope to put this game behind us. Move on very, very quickly. As
For
Barcelona, they don't
sure.
really have time to dwell on
Exactly.
poor
Yeah.
results.
There's no time to feel bad. Because again, sure, you can say that earlier in the season, right? But sure, you could, yeah, I'm worried about the first half of the season, yeah. But this ain't the time of month to worry about anything. You just have to, like, keep marching on at all. Like, yeah, yes, it sucks that we could have won, but at the same time, it's football. Like it is what it is. Like you can like get mad at them, but at the same time, it's part of the game where like you just can't win every. I think it would be nice to win every game for sure, but there'll be times where like you can't win.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just part of it's just part of sport for every sports. Like sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but as long as you don't build up the habit of losing, then you should be fine moving forward.
Precisely. But guys, that was it for the match reaction. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about this game, just looking at the stats, looking at the fallouts, looking at some more words from the players, and talking about that in more detail, and also building up towards Barcelona's game against Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League. But as always, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. See you guys all on the next video. Peace out, guys.